Hi everyone. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use ComfyUI for generating architectural visualizations using Rhino view captures. So this is the ComfyUI interface where we can establish basically a node-based computation using AI tools. So right now I have basically a few of these disabled so that we can look at uh, basic text-to-image generation first, and then we can look at how to generate images from Rhino view captures. So you can actually zoom in and move around to this canvas using your mouse controller. So we can basically look at this part first. This is where we upload a checkpoint. This is the model we are going to use for this exercise. And there's a prompt section where we can describe the type of image we want to create. So we are going to work on conceptual tower images. So I extracted this from Microsoft Copilot, so we can actually generate another prompt. So you can type in generate another prompt for a tower. Sometimes it gives you long prompt, so you might want to limit it to 77 words because the engine will not take more than that. So we can just copy this message, paste it here, delete this portion obviously, and this has the kind of texts that can trigger certain images in the checkpoint so that they can generate a conceptual rendering of an image. Now this part is where we do control nets. This will come in handy when we start using Rhino, and this part will, the IP adapter, will look at how to stylize images. But these are right now disabled, so we can just use the prompt to see what kind of an image we can get. So you can simply hit run, and this will basically now use these prompts and generate a conceptual rendering. And every time you hit run, it will generate a new image because it's using a random seed. So let's see, it takes a few seconds, and then we'll be getting a conceptual image of a building. So obviously this is very generic because we are only using we are using text, but for using more advanced control, we can actually use Rhino view captures as well. So let's look at how to use those. So if you go to your Rhino interface, this is my three-dimensional conceptual tower model. So I want to first create a safe frame around this so that we can capture vertical images. To do that, you need to go to first the Render Tools tab, go to Settings, and you want to basically establish a size for the view captures you want to do. So my size is right now 800 in width and 1024 by height. So the models we're going to use, they kind of operate with 1 megabit images, so that's why we need to limit this proportion, this resolution to these numbers. And after you do that, you can go back to the viewport properties, and under viewport properties, you can go to the save frame and show it active view. So this will be our save frame. Now, if I take a view capture of this file as is, it can basically give us a good starting point for an image. So you can just do dash view capture to file, and it already has the width and the height. But if it doesn't, you can just type up 800 for the width and height 1024. We don't want transparent background, and you can just save these as JPEGs. So you can just save it on your desktop. And if you switch to ComfyUI, you can come in here and you can upload that image. So if you go to your desktop, this is the image that I captured from Rhino. Now, in order to use this, we need to use control nets. So the control nets are located in this portion of the script. So we can process different types of features of this image. So we can process its edges, we can process its form, and its depth. and these all can be used to generate images. So I'm going to start with enabling the depth. So if you just click on this portion, this is kind of right now disabled, so you can just click on this bypass unbypass tool that will enable this portion. And what's going to happen is ComfyUI will first pre-process this image, and it will use it to guide the result. So I'm not going to change the prompt and not going to change anything else. We just input an image. So now let's see what we can get. So now it's going to first run a depth analysis. So this is the analysis it got from my input image. It has a bit softer edges. So I'm running 30 steps of diffusion, which creates a high resolution image. But if you want to see kind of what's happening, you can lower the steps to 20 so that you can get images at a faster rate. But this is the kind of image I got. So it's almost like a conceptual rendering of a physical model in a studio space. Now, let's keep adding to this. I want to also use the canny edge, but you can see it's not processing the edges as clearly as possible. That's because we don't have the edges highlighted in the Rhino model. So if you go back to Rhino, you can right-click to viewport, display options, and on the render tab, enable show surface edges. And you might want to also use a different type of background. So if the background is white as well, you will get flatter images. You want just a different type of background here. So in case you have the background set to, let's say, solid color and white, this will actually don't create as much differentiation with the background. So you just want to create a darker background. So you can set it to dark gray. All right, so now I'm going to zoom in a bit more. And the other thing we want to set is on the viewport properties. Let's go to viewport properties again. You want to go to the viewport camera and set the projection to 2-point perspective. So that gives a lot better results for photorealistic renderings. If you use parallel projection, you may not get isometric images as clearly as you wish, and perspective can also work, but the vanishing points might be a bit difficult for the rendering engine. So you might have to set the lens length to 20 or 25 and set a camera view. So the easiest setup is to set it to 2-point perspective and then zoom in at an interesting corner or a point, or you can look at the whole tower model as is. So I'm going to capture an image at this angle. So let's give it a new name. And then I'm going to go back here and upload that image. So now you can see the edges are clearly visible. And I'm going to come back here and enable these two control nets as well. So this will process its edges. This will process its sketch-like qualities. And you can see that I have some parameters here. So you don't need to change the pre-processing parameters, but you can change these parameters. So you can change the strengths, for instance, like how much you want the edges to be preserved for the final image. So right now I have this at 25%. If I lower this, the edges of my input will have less effect. I have more impact for the depth mapping, so it's like 50% in strength. If you max these out to, let's say, 1, which is 100%, they may overpower the generation of the image. So you might want to keep them between 0 to 0.5. Okay, I also want to change the prompt a bit. So let's ask Copilot, give me a rendering prompt for a photorealistic tower image with terraces and gardens in the sky. Gardens and terraces. All right, let's see if this will give us like an interesting image. So now it's giving me a code that we can just copy it here, come back here, and then paste it here. So it gave me a photorealistic vertical tower with layered terraces, lush hanging gardens. So let's see. It says biophilic design, cantilevered platforms, glass, concrete, warm wood accents. So let's try this. I'm going to run it at 20 steps, so we will get a faster response this time. And let's also look at how the pre-processing works. So you can see now the edges are clearly defined for the canny edge. And we also have the form of it captured and the depth being captured. So these all should take in some sort of impact on the output image. All right, so the image should be arriving in a second. There you go. So if you put it side by side, you can see that now the Rhino view capture is clearly captured, basically, like in the final result, and the prompt takes effect to stylize this by putting features in the prompt, right? So it's kind of recognizing the levels, the horizontal lines here, and then stylizing this image with our prompt. Okay, so you can actually play around with this. You can change the input image angles. You can change these strengths. You can change the prompt here and generate different types of images. One other thing I wanted to show you is you can also add a stylistic image on top of this rendering. So right now I have this sort of an image that has the wooden terrace look, but we can actually change it to something else. Let's say we want to use a conceptual rendering like this, or you can use like a collage or like any type of rendered image, pre-rendered image that you might want to extract some features. So it will be best practice if you also get a prompt through this image, so you can feed it to Microsoft Copilot and it will give you like a prompt description of this image. Or you can simply come up with a different type of prompt, but if like its parameters or its strength could be lowered as well. So we can play back and forth essentially. But for the IP adapter to work, you need to enable this component as well. So I'm just going to turn it on. And here the weight is set to 80%, so it will be pretty powerful for the outcome of the image. And we are going to do strong style transfer. So the output image will look a bit like this. So it's going to use the features that it extracts from this image. So let's see what that will give to us. So now it's also going to load the IP adapter. So the ControlNet will give you control of some of the geometry for the output, whereas the IP adapter will give you control over the visual style of the image. All right, there we go. So if you put it side by side, you can actually see it extracted these materials, which are white, and the surrounding landscape, like the way the trees are modeled. But it's still trying to do the biophilic design from the prompt, right? So if you basically get a different type of prompt, let's say, give me a simpler, more modern prompt. So I'm basically changing the keywords in the prompt, so it's not going to have the hanging plants or the biophilic effect. And I'm just going to change input image just to show you how it might give us kind of a different result. So this is kind of a collage that has very distinct colors and features. So let's see how it will map onto the rendering that we want to create. All right, so it's giving me basically like a collage-like look by extracting some of the image colors or references from the image. So it's kind of mapping those sorts of tectonic qualities. So let's summarize how you can use this tool. You can basically control the prompt here. I didn't actually go over the negative prompt, so you can actually put in stuff here that you don't want to be in the image. So if, let's say, you're getting trees or you're getting some features that you want to exclude, you can actually write them up here. The Rhino view capture, we are basically getting the lines, enabling the lines, and getting view captures at different angles. And these are processed with the control nets. So there are 3 of these. You can actually enable, disable any of them to see how they would impact the outcome. If you enable all of them, it will have strong impact on the final image. And then the IP adapter is used for style transfer, so you can input a rendering here that you like on to map it onto your conceptual image, and you can test how the effect will come out. All right, so I hope you enjoy with this exercise. You enjoy like working on this exercise, and you can generate very cool renderings of models that you got in Rhino, and play around with some of these parameters and see what kind of images you can get.